Okay, in our next story, we're going to talk about the devastating loss. Nina Turner, um, beaten by Chantel Brown. Going to go into some of the reasons why she lost, um, and what this means for the political landscape in general. So the establishment prevails, from Politico. Establishment prevails as Brown beats Turner in Ohio special election. Brown's victory in a special election primary from Congress marked a striking defeat for the Democratic Party's liberal wing. The Democratic establishment dealt a crushing blow to the progressive movement Tuesday when Chantel Brown, the preferred candidate of party stalwarts, triumphed over Nina Turner, a face of the insurgent left, in a special congressional primary election. Turner conceded shortly after 10 p.m. with a biblical reference, "On this night we will not cross the river." She trailed Brown 51% to 44% when the Associated Press called the race. Brown's victory in the primary, which has tantamount to general election in the deep blue Northeast Ohio seat, brings an end to a contentious summer. So yes, it does. I'm very disappointed. I'm not particularly surprised, but I'm very disappointed. She didn't lose by too much. It was like 4,000 votes. I mean, quite a percentage, I guess. But more people would have turned out. She would have won. This is just a slight on our government, a slight on our political system, and really just a slight on how we do business and how money in politics is horrible, disgusting thing. So at the 11th hour, Chantel Brown is getting money pumped in, a ridiculous amount of money pumped in by big oil money, by pro-Israel super PACs, by the DNC, by the establishment. She's getting endorsed by Hillary Clinton, and she's also getting money from Republicans. Effectively, I want everyone to know, if you voted for Chantel Brown, you voted Republican. It might not be a Trump-based Republican, but ideologically, you voted Republican. Period. And she will win the seat. So, what does this mean? We suffered this loss. Progressives, and don't get it wrong. Don't get this twisted. It was a loss because Nina Turner in the Senate would have been a lion. She would have been a lioness. She would have been a warrior. She'd have fought for everybody. She'd have tore a house down. She'd have done a great job. But unfortunately, that is not the case. What does this change after suffering this loss? A lot of people, I've seen a lot of articles stating that this means the progressive line, the progressive wing, should get in line. That we need to learn our place. We need to sit there, be silent, be quiet, and respect the authority of the establishment, and realize that their politics, the way they play the game, what's going to win us the day. We need to stop being so loud and stop making so much ruckus. Fuck that. You hear me? Fuck that. So, listen. If anything, it shows us that our battles that we're fighting are even more important, because we're fighting to get money out of politics. We're fighting so that the people are getting represented. This is a clear case of the people not being represented, because they overwhelmingly lost. I was at the Nina Turner rally. I was at Senator Turner's rally, and I'll tell you that it was popping. It wasn't full, but it was rocking. And if it was not an off year, if it wasn't a special election, and more people knew about it, if there wasn't so much coverage, and if people weren't like, if more people knew about the election in general and more about the issues, maybe there would have been a higher turnout. But I think also a big problem with this is that there's political fatigue in the country. Unless you're a junkie like me for the shit, and you look after, you search for it, and you look for it, and you go after it. After these last 4 years, nobody really cares about politics anymore, especially when they're seeing that nothing's getting done with the Biden administration. People can feel it. You can just feel the empathy. You can feel the distaste in people's mouths. Even people that don't follow politics, you can feel it. It's palpable. And so maybe that's the reason. This is a blow because they were scared, and you could tell because of all the money flooding in. They were scared of Nina Turner coming in there and shaking things up because the progressive wing needed a leader. You know, we have, and obviously there's people like Cori Bush stepping up, but she's just in her first year. You know, Ilhan Omar, you know, all these squad members, AOC, they are just so all over the place sometimes. There's no like clear cut direction. There needs to be somebody to go in there and unite and strengthen the progressive wing of the party, because the progressive wing of the party is weak. We're going to cover a story that just showing that a lot of the progressives in Congress are weak, and they're playing too much politics, and they're not fighting enough. And Nina Turner would have fought, and she would have crushed it. She would have done anything she could. We lost. You know, we lost this battle. And it's a blow, but I don't think Nina Turner's done fighting. She said not tonight. She said we won't cross the river on this night. That doesn't mean we're not crossing the river. I love how Cornel West put it at the rally, where she is a love warrior. And that doesn't, you can't kill that. You can't kill this overwhelming sense. Like when you see Nina Turner, you know that she gives a fuck about you. That's really weird to say, but you can just tell. There's something in her eyes that's just legitimate and sincere, like a mama bear. She's looking out for us, and they were afraid. So there's always next time, and I'll be there for Nina Turner. I'll be there to support her, because this isn't the end of the fight. You know, Shontel Brown might have got one. Might have caught us slipping a little bit, but give it a couple years. We'll see what really happens. Fight is far from over. Progressive wing needs to strengthen up. They need to not take this as that it's time to play ball with the establishment. Realize that this is, if anything, this is the time to really fight, because they screwed over Nina. They screwed her over. Wake up. Realize that this is messed up. And money in politics is the root of all evil in this country, and why nothing gets done for the people.